Let's rock the zones! In the wild markets where the fortunes rise and crash, Trim Capital Partners built a beast to cut through the flash. TCP Supersystem, your crypto equity analyzer, scans the uptrends, downtrends, turns chaos to fire. Mean reversion data pulls the strings from the past, main indicator lights the path, hot sensors hit fast. From Bitcoin's roar to stock tickers grind, it spots the sweet spots where the big plays align. Green diamond gleaming, buy zones on the rise. Red diamond flashing, time to cut ties wise. Opportunity zones, crypto, stocks in the game. TCP signal screaming, ignite the flame. Level 2, level 3 alerts, charts come alive. APJ center edge, help you live and thrive. Unleash the beast, let the signals play right. In this modern market, gotta master the fight. Scalping the moves, riding waves like a pro. With TCP by your side, watch your portfolio grow. Tracking every trend, leveraging the best, taking calculated risks, striving for success in the trading room, buzzing with screens all aglow. Together we rise, together we flow. Green diamond gleaming, buy zones on the rise. Red diamond flashing, time to cut ties wise. Opportunity zones, crypto, stocks in the game. TCP signal screaming, ignite the flame. Level 2, level 3 alerts, charts come alive. Every T's in an edge, help you live and thrive. Signals are transmission, secrets we unveil. TCP Supersystem, it's the holy. Navigating chaos, in the storm we stand tall. With knowledge and courage, we will never fall. Locking the signals, Trim Capital's calling. TCP Supersystem, let's rock the zone! In the world of crypto, keep your eyes wide. TCP Supersystem, where the secrets hide. Opportunity zones will reveal the way. Trim my day. Searching for the signals, patterns all align. Stock markets moving, gotta read the signs. TCP's the system, knowledge is the key.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Crypto Rapid Fire session this Saturday morning, January 3rd. We did do a live stream last night. Apologies to some of those folks. I think we were seeing some buffering. So some of the content may be skipping in and out. However, to address that, I did go get an Ethernet cable today and did a hard wire. So hopefully that resolves some of those issues from yesterday and going forward. So if you join this today, whether you're late or early, Let us know in the comments afterwards if it was smooth on any kind of replay or rewatch. I would love to know. That way we can figure out which direction we want to go going forward. Again, rapid fire session is where we go through all of the monitor cryptos on our list. We stop where we think we need to discuss based on chart patterns and formations. Some we'll skip over today. We did do a bunch yesterday, so some of this will be relatively consistent with what we heard yesterday. Again, TCP Supersystem signals, interpretations, my trades are not financial advice or recommendations to buy or sell. Please consult a licensed advisor before investing. It is risky. I am not an advisor. This is information and education. Again, for those that may be coming in new to this, the system I created over 2 to 3 years, this is not MACD RSI. This is a more complex system. We have standard deviation methodologies at the top. Our main indicator, you're going to see leverage liquidation zones in these big green boxes. You're going to see trend reversals in the cloud formations, whether it's red or green clouds. Then you're also going to see a series of diamonds, green and red, three shades. Darker the shade, the better. Then at the bottom, you got 3 hot sensors, short term, a medium term, and a long term. This helps us really gauge price action and extreme volatility, which creates opportunities. And again, daily view on the left, weekly view on the right. So we're going to go ahead and kick this thing off, get this thing started. Barely hear it, which is the intent. But Bitcoin, again, even coming off of the Venezuela bombings last night and the capture of Maduro, we didn't really see any volatility this morning, which probably shocks a lot of people. So we'll see if we maintain this 90,000 level that we've been hovering around, for the last 12 hours or so. Really, since we've continued to show you these leverage liquidation zones, we're just exiting the most recent one we've identified. We are now leveraging the 50-day moving average as support now that we've broken up above it. Next upper zone would be around 120, and then again even higher around, let's just call it 140 to 150. That's what we think is penetrated through the green zone. Blue line is approaching. That's that kickoff scenario. So that's exactly what we're looking for. Looks like we may have a little glitch in our code. I need to check this out because this definitely should not be red right here on this hot sensor. But again, you can see we've crossed over on our short term, improving on the long term. And yeah, basically Bitcoin's looking pretty healthy here. So we'll see if the big boys are accurate. I know they continue to stack MicroStrategy, MetaPlanet, a lot of these Bitcoin treasuries. A lot of people predicting 200 plus by the end of 2026. So we will see where we go. XRP, again, I told y'all yesterday what we typically see is a pump above the cloud to the area of resistance, which is generally these moving averages. We're hitting the 50-day. We're tracing just a bit. And what we're going to expect to see here, as long as we can hold the orange line above this green zone and the white line above the red zone up here, we should see potentially a small retracement, a yellow up label, which is that cloud formation change, and then up we go for XRP. Upper zone we've identified at 320, and then again higher at, throw this back in for you. So XRP, it's finally looking like it might come on a run here. Obviously, not a whole lot we can say about XRP. I mean, it's got the NDAs all over the world. It's got the bank partnerships all over the world. It's got the ETFs. It's got more ETFs coming. It's got, tons of use case, tons of adoption. It did just have a big release, but people need to understand how that escrow works. And I'm not sure Ripple's going to continue to own that escrow at some point, but we'll see. But most of the escrow that gets released actually gets put back into escrow. It doesn't actually get put out on the market. So do a little research on that escrow. Make sure you understand how that works. But XRP, again, seeing the formations we want, just like we are with Bitcoin. HBAR is one of our big ones. Again, pretty similar here. We're getting that pump above the cloud. We got the small retracement. We're getting that confirmed yellow label for that cloud formation change. Improving on the hot sensors at the bottom with a crossover on the short term. Yellow to blue, orange to yellow. So that's showing improvement. Again, we don't quite have the scenario we want on the standard deviations for HBAR. We need that orange line. We need to get up through the green zone, and it's starting to turn over. So we need to watch this one carefully. This one may, it could come back down. So we'll see if it just returns toward the bottom of this leverage zone, which would be around just over 9 cents. 1 inch. And again, for those that may be coming in, this is the rapid fire session. I go through each one I monitor. If you have a crypto token or stock that you want to see, we are more than willing to go ahead and put that on the screen, and we can talk through what the system is showing, if you so choose. Resistance yet, that would be somewhere around 17 cents. We're currently at just over 15.5. And again, for 1 inch, don't quite have the scenario we want yet. We need that orange line to get again up to that green zone. We are seeing those improving hot sensors at the bottom and a crossover here on the short-term daily. Now here's a little different view for 1 inch. For 1 inch, we're coming off of our red hot sensors here, which this may potentially a local bottom here. So watch this one. This could be interesting here. So we'll see. But just it doesn't have the full confirmation that I look for just yet. Ave. Again, we pumped. We're coming back. So we'll see what happens next. Don't quite have the formations we want just yet. Cardano. Cardano's getting a lot of good news here lately. Again, news feed is in the channel. It refreshes every. That is up to you. I usually don't just read news on this channel. It's more TA based, but we do have the news feed for that purpose. But Cardano, again, upper zone here. We've identified around $1 based on leverage liquidations. We're getting that pump above the cloud. It's hit that area of resistance at that 50-day. Should retrace a little bit here to the back to the top of the cloud, which would be right around 37 cents. Once it does that, most likely a yellow label, and up we go, and then hopefully we hit that $1 mark. Again, we're about a day or two short here. We need the orange line up here in the standard deviation methodologies. We do need that to get up to that green zone, and that's that scenario that we want to see. So a little bit of work to do on Cardano here. Hopefully we can avoid another turnover like we saw back here in early December or mid-December. Arrow. I mean, and a lot of these guys, you'll see a lot of the crypto market still hasn't decoupled from one another. A lot of these will look the same. Some look a little better than others, and I can call those out as we go through here. But again, I'm not going to rehash every single detail every single time because this is the rapid fire. That red hot sensor at the bottom down here, that's the long-term daily hot sensor. Nailed that bottom. We're now improving on all the other hot sensors. That was also coming off a level 3 diamonds on the weekly view with a red hot sensor. That's usually a pretty good sign for positive momentum. Again, hit the area of resistance. Expect a little bit of retracement like we're seeing, potentially even a little bit lower, and then we could be off and running. We just need to monitor the standard deviations at the top. We're going to skip AMP. Going to skip anchors. API 3. Again, prime example here. Pump, retrace. Now we got to watch what happens next. Again, standard deviation, not exactly what we want, so still a day or two there on API 3. But this is looking good on the weekly view, coming off a level 3 diamonds. Orange hot sensor, red hot sensor, red hot sensor. It doesn't get much better than that, so just, basically how much, if you believe in the project, it's a matter of how greedy do you want to be at this point. Algo is another one of those big ones a lot of people are trying to be patient on here. We do have the scenario we want. It's close to turning over, so we need to monitor. But we are up through the green zone here with the orange line and that methodology. We got the pump. We got the confirmation. We already had a small retracement. It's already gone back up. And again, that was coming off of orange hot sensors, red hot sensors on the weekly, level 3 diamonds on the weekly. So the system doesn't lie. Then this is how we leverage it. Here's another one. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 2 of the 3 hot sensors are red. You can see where that started to change. We were at a bottom. But I want you to notice something here. We didn't really get the formation we want until really right about now. Broke through the green zone, and that's right where we are now. The kicker here is that is resistance at the 50-day, so we need to watch it just a little bit here. You could see a slight retracement, but I would expect this thing to resume higher unless this thing just plummets for some reason, and then obviously we'll know that by the standard deviation methodologies. So our weave is looking good coming up out of the leverage liquidation zone. Again, upper zone identified around 740 to 780 there. We do have the scenarios that we want for the time being. Arbitrum. Again, we got the scenario we want. We got the pump. We got the yellow label. This is coming off the red hot sensors, so looking good for Arbitrum. Including level including level 3s on the weekly with 2 red hot sensors. With the sheer volume of tokens seeing the same structure setups, makes me feel really good that we may have seen a bottom here. But that's just an opinion. It's not financial advice. But the fact that all these are well, a lot of these are seeing what we want, it's a pretty good sign that we're going higher. But there could be some short-term volatility with all the geopolitical stuff going on, and with Venezuela, Iran, and Ukraine, and all that, but in China. So stay tuned on that. Here is Cosmos. Cosmos again, another one. Scenario, standard deviations. That's what we want to see. That was coming off of red and orange hot sensors. Pump above the cloud, we hit resistance, we retraced a little bit, we got the yellow label, exactly what we want, coming off of level 3s on the weekly with orange and red, so perfect. Gramp, did you have that problem yesterday, Gramp? Let me see, hang on one second. Let's see. How about now? Tell me if you can hear that now. Give me a yes or no. All right, we're going to try to keep going. Hopefully people can hear me. So, again, that was Cosmos. Avalanche. On Avalanche, again, this one actually looks even a little bit better. Orange liners, level 3s, and red hot sensors on the weekly. So, again, this is what we want to see. Again, Gramp, waiting on you to confirm if you can hear me now. BNB. Again, looking good. 200-day here, actually. So, again, likely to see some volatility. But, again, looks good. Got the scenarios we want. So, that's BNB. Bonk token yesterday. Another one, I think it was up almost over 10% yesterday. Again, you can see we actually got a diamond on this one, which is our level 1 diamond, which just so happened to be at that 50-day level of resistance. So that's a pretty good sign. And what do you know? We're getting a small retracement. So look for that yellow label there. Again, this was looking pretty good in terms of hot sensors. We're in the red. Orange going back to yellow and blue. That's showing improvement. So this one's looking pretty nice. We've got the upper zones identified here for Bonk token. Again, level 3s and red hot sensors on the weekly as well for Bonk. So, all right. Centrifuge. We'll skip Centrifuge. Chronos. Similar to the rest. Dogecoin. So Dogecoin, it actually pumped up yesterday. Closed above the 50 days, so that's now serving as support. So we'll see if we get a bigger retracement today or if this is all we really get. That would be pretty nice if we just go higher. Again, we have the scenarios we want. Improving hot sensors. That was coming off of level 3s, 2s, and 1s on the weekly. We never really got down to the red zones on the weekly, which is okay. So we'll see. We are pretty much at a level of volatility at the bottom of the cloud on the weekly. So, which again, the 50-day moving average on the daily. So those things line up. So again, we could see a little retracement today. So we'll continue to watch Doge. You can see where we're in at 18 cents. It's a big position. We're holding that one for at least the first quarter, if not longer. So we'll see where that one goes. Polkadot, pretty much the same scenario there. We got the diamond there, so look for that little retracement. Ethereum, there's a news article out today. I think someone was predicting, right here, why the Ethereum price could bounce above 3,500. Again, that's not that high. That's right here about the 100-day moving average, which just so happens to be, we have the scenarios we want. We have a crossover on the short-term daily hot sensor, improving on the other hot sensors. So, I mean, this looks decent, other than the fact on the weekly we're at that area of volatility at the bottom of that cloud. And a lot of times you'll see this thing come down, just like you do. It goes sideways to slightly up, hits the cloud, and then comes on back down. Obviously, we did hit the leveraged liquidation zone on Ethereum back here on November 21st, around that 2620 mark. So this would be the zone, if it does go lower, this would be the zone that we're looking for. But again, long term looks pretty healthy. I can see you speaking at last, still no sound. I'll come back in a bit. Let's see. Hang on one second. Yeah, so I've got the stream going on the other one of my TVs. Now I can hear the volume, so it's definitely something on your side, Grant. I don't know, but the volume is working. So just so you know. Filecoin here again. This is the rapid fire, ladies and gentlemen, view. But some we stop at, some we don't. But you can also put what you want to see in the chat if you're a subscriber, and we can bring that up on the screen and go through anything you want to talk about for any stock or crypto. So, Goldfinch. This is a little tokenization play. This one's interesting. We had our level 2 diamond back here on the December 17th. That marked the bottom. We've gone sideways. We got that pump to the 50-day. We got the retracement. We got the yellow label formation for trend reversal. But we do not have the standard deviation formations that we want to see. We need that white line to be up in those extremes up here in those hashed lines. We need the orange line to be up through the green zone. So still some work to do here with level 3 diamonds. That is fantastic. Again, this is really, I mean, this is a major cluster of level 3s. You don't really get that a whole lot. All we really want to watch for now is this standard deviation methodology on the daily for Goldfinch, if you know what that one is. Again, a lot of these look like we're just starting, folks. Again, yellow on the hot sensor. Red on the hot sensor here. Looks like we're pretty much coming off the bottom. We're getting back above the cloud now. Still got a little ways to go to hit some resistance. Again, level 3s, red on the hot sensors on the weekly view. So it looks good for the graph. Helium. We can skip that one. We don't see what we want to see on the standard deviations. Hyperliquid. We don't see what we need to see on the standard deviations. Jupiter. We're almost there on Jupiter. Still another day or two, we should be up through that zone. If we can get up there, that would be looking better. Again, we're still in the leverage liquidation zone, so it's a matter of just, for me, it's dollar cost averaging in these zones. So that's how I look at that one. Kusama. Again, it looks like this one might be turning over. So I would say the orange line is not through that green zone just yet. It's kind of hit the top and turned over. So we'll see, and that just so happens to be, again, the 50-day moving. Some scattered level 3s over here in the red hot sensors on the weekly view as we're in this leverage liquidation zone. So it looks pretty good for Kusama here at 776. Upper zone identified around $15.50 to $16 or $17. Chainlink. Again, like most of the rest of them, Looks like we're getting the scenarios we want to see, so it's just a matter of how greedy do you want to be. Maker had a nice little run here, and we called that one not too long ago that was running higher, and it sure did. Nailed the 200-day moving average as resistance. That's always an area of volatility, so I would urge you to be careful here. This is a little bit different. Orange and blue lines are already above the red, but the white's not. So we really, for this to continue higher from here, we would need that white to get up above these extremes. Otherwise, the thing's going to roll over and come on back down. So if I had to predict it, it would probably be a little short-term volatility to the downside to resume higher from there. Near, pretty much the same. Looks decent. Ondo, this thing came down from $1 quick. Hit down in the 30s down here in our red hot sensor. This thing is now bounced higher above the cloud. It's hitting that resistance. Again, we don't quite have the scenario we want to see yet. Orange line needs to get through the green. So another day or 2 to 3 days probably there. Optimism. Plume here, again, Plume's starting to see a consolidated base here, which is good for kind of higher prices. Usually the longer the base, the higher the space. That is happening right down here, pretty close to the bottom of the leverage liquidation zone, which is good. We do have the yellow label, our confirmed uptrend, which meaning that cloud is transitioned to green. And again, we're currently at just over 1.5 cents. Upper zone's identified around 12 cents, and then again, upwards of 15 or 16 cents. So Plume, again, looks like a fantastic opportunity. I would like to see a slight improvement in the standard deviations, but this thing could be pretty nice. PIF. Again, PIF, not quite where we need to be on the standard deviations, but everything else looks pretty legitimate. So we're just waiting on a couple pieces here. Quant, same thing. Looks like we're getting that retracement here, so a day or two of retracement, and then we might resume higher. Render, same thing. We're getting our level 1 diamond. Look for a retracement here around the 50-day. That is a fantastic looking scenario, maybe the best one so far, actually. We're going vertical. White lines in the extremes, orange lines vertical through the green on the medium, improving on the long term off a red. Oof. So for render here, I do like this, but again, given a level 1 diamond here, I would like to see a small retracement before it goes higher. But this looks pretty good. Upper zones again identified around $4.30. We're currently $1. Pretty good there. And we're getting close to the end here. Radium. Again, this one looks like it might be on a run here. We've got a confirmed uptrend coming off of red and orange hot sensors. We're penetrating above the 50-day. That now becomes support. Same thing, level 3 diamonds everywhere. So looking good there for that was our leverage liquidation zone on Shiba. We didn't actually quite make it to that one that time, which is shocking. But we are hitting resistance now at the 50-day. You can see the red candlestick. We do have the scenario we want to see, but it could potentially roll here. It looks like it's trying to roll over, so we'll see the next day if it maintains itself or if it comes on back down. Solana, again, looks like we're hitting that resistance spot. Stacks, again, resistance spot. Swee's looking a little stronger. Again, you can see that one's going straight vertical. Blue line is now entering the green zone, so that looks fantastic. We penetrated up through the 50-day, and it now becomes support. That's coming. So this is where you got to be careful. This is going to be volatility. So if I said this thing is likely to come back to the 50-day around 154, don't be shocked. But the setup here is fantastic for long term. Again, this is all just my opinion and interpretations of the system I built. So not telling you to buy anything, but good stuff here. BitTenser, Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Looks like we're pumping up toward that resistance zone, which would be around 270. We're 252 right now, coming off level 3s on the weekly. So good stuff there. Trump token, same thing. We can skip that one. Tron. Ooh. All right now. All right, so here's your best one of the day so far for Tron. So Tron, you can see we got the confirmed uptrend, the crossover. We're still white, which is good. We're about to cross over on the medium term as well. This smacked the 50-day moving average on the weekly view as support. You can see we're in that cloud. Again, anytime you're in the cloud, it's volatility. So any candlestick could go red. But if this one does, I would expect it to either, this is going to do one of two things first. It's going to pump to the 100-day at 2.99, or I'm sorry, 29 cents. Probably back down a little bit, or it could go ahead and retrace now somewhere to the bottom of this candle or the cloud and then resume higher. Typically what happens, but this looks very strong. Standard deviations, orange line is almost up through those extremes. If it makes it through the extremes, this is where you want to stay in that green cloud until that orange line gets pretty much back, going from above those extreme zones back to the top of them. If we can get above here, Tron could be on a run. So that's how that usually works. We'll skip Uniswap for now. VeChain, we can skip that one. World Liberty. Woo! Told y'all. Okay, so World Liberty. I told y'all the zone was going to be between 10 and 20 cents, and here we go. We're pumping up. Look at this strong sucker. We now have white, orange, and blue above the red. Two of them. So this one you're going to want to try to ride until that orange line gets back down to the top of these extremes. Now you can see we already are getting a level 1, and it did see a little pullback here once that diamond hit. But this, you can see multiple diamonds, so this thing could really run. So I would certainly expect this one to hit the 20 cent mark for some liquidations. That could cause it to pump even higher. And then we have to reevaluate the leverage zones and reestablish the new forward-looking zones at that point in time. But this is strong. This is the best one so far. XDC. There she is. There's your pump. There's your retrace.